Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine at home and doing your work very well. So, today we're going to start with the pteridophytes. It is the next topic which we're going to discuss in the plant kingdom. So, in the last class, we have discussed about the bryophytes. Like in that, we have discussed about the mosses and the liverworts. So, let's start with the today's topic. Okay, so pteridophyte, ठीक है, as this we have discussed in bryophyte that these organisms or these plants will live in cool shady places and the damp places where the water is present. Similarly, the pteridophytes, the main habitat where they reside is cool, shady and moist places because they require water for the reproduction. Clear? So these pteridophytes, they found in cool, shady and moist places, and basically they require water for the reproduction. So talking about the main plant body, here in this case the main plant body is sporophytic. The main plant body is sporophytic. But in case of bryophytes, we have seen that the main plant body was gametophyte. But in this case, the main plant body is sporophytic. And this sporophytic plant body have leaf, stem and root-like structures. As we have seen in case of bryophytes, they don't have true roots, stems and leaves. But the pteridophytes, they have root, stem and leaf-like structures. So, I told you the main plant body is sporophytic. The sporophytic body produces two kinds of leaves. One is microleaf, or you can say microphyll, and the other one is macrophyll. Okay, so the sporophytic plant body in pteridophytes, they produces two kinds of leaves. One is microphyll, the other one is macrophyll. Here, phyll means leaves. Phyll means leaves and macro means big or larger, or micro means small, and phyll you already know that is leaf. So micro means small leaves and macro means big leaves. So for example, for the macrophyll is ferns and for microphyll is Selaginella. For exam point of view, make sure that you will revise it again. Okay, so the sporophytic body produces two kinds of leaf. One is macrophyll, the other one is microphyll. Clear? The examples I have given here. Okay, the next thing is that these plant or pteridophytes, they have vascular tissues. That means they contain xylem and phloem. These are the vascular bundles which is being found in the higher plants like gymnosperm, angiosperm. They are also found in pteridophytes. See, the xylem is required for the transportation of water in the plant. From the root capture the water and transport the water to the different parts of plant in a unidirectional form. Similarly, the phloem is being used for the conduction of the food material which is being synthesized in the leaves to the various part of the plant. Required? Okay, clear beta? So vascular tissues, they are required for the conduction of water and food. Xylem for water and phloem for the food. Clear? So these plants have vascular tissues. Okay, I told you that the main plant body was sporophyte. So here the sporophyte have sporangia. Sporangia is a structure that contain spores. Okay, so sporophyte have a sporangia that contain spores. This sporangia is being subtended. By leaf-like structure, and that is known as sporophyll. So basically this cone, or you can say that this sporangia is being subtended, means surrounded by leaf-like structures, which is known as sporophyte. Clear? Phyte, I told you, that means leaf. So they are subtended by leaf-like structure. That's why it is known as sporophyte. Clear, beta? So the sporophyte, they have sporangia, which forms these spores, and they are subtended by leaf-like structure, which is known as sporophyte. If this sporophyte is compact, in a compact stage, for example, I told you this is a sporangia, and they form a compact structure with the leaf-like structure, then they are known as strobili. Then they are known as strobili or cone. Clear? When this structure, see the sporophyte, when it is in compact form, I told you what is sporophyte, the leaf-like structure, they are subtended onto the sporangia. So here, if it is formed a compact structure, then it is known as strobili or cone. Example for them are equisetum and selaginella. Selaginella. Clear? So these two plants, they form a strobili or cone-like structures. Clear? So basically the sporangia, they form spores. Inside the sporangia, which is being subtended by sporophyte. I told you all those things. Okay? So the next thing is sporangia, they form the haploid spores. Clear? Which germinate to give a thalloid-like structure, that is gametophyte. This thalloid-like structure is multicellular, small. Okay? So the sporophyte, they give rise to the sporophyte have sporangia, which form spores which are haploid in nature, and then they germinate to form the thalloid-like structure, which is known as gametophyte. This gametophyte is multicellular and small in nature. So let's revise the complete scenario of the pteridophytes. Like they reside in cool, moist and shady places. They have true vascular tissues, and the main plant body is sporophytic. Clear? So the main plant body, I told you, the sporophytic, but in case of bryophyte it was gametophyte. Clear? They produces two kinds of leaves, that is macrophyll and microphyll. Clear? And here the sporophyte have a sporangia, which is subtended by some leaf-like structure, and it is known as sporophyll. If it is in compact shape, then it is known as strobili and cone. Sporangia forms spores that germinate to give you a thalloid-like structure, which is known as gametophyte. Clear? समझ में आ गया बेटा? So that's all for the pteridophytes. In the next slide, we will discuss about the reproduction of the pteridophytes. Thank you so much.